What's up, brothers and sisters? This is your brother G World 7_D. First off, I want to say, I guess a happy New Year to people. You know, technically, you can say the New Year is really March 21st, during the spring equinox, when days start really getting longer than nighttime. And then, that's when you start really focus on the crop season. So now, just want to tell you that. I want to mention also is I want the brothers and sisters to be safe, because there's so many stuff that pop off on the 31st to the 1st. It's crazy. People shooting their guns all the time like crazy. So just be careful, whatever you do. I don't really do anything because it's just another day to me. And technically, I really do the New Year when it's like 21st of March, but hell. I want to suggest you a book. It's called, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I have it. It's called Pagan Christmas, Pagan Traditions, or Pagan Holidays. And it talks about all these so-called holidays starting from ancient rituals. And then there's so many very different rituals that were added on. Even cooking certain cookies, putting these little wreaths on your door, the mistletoe stuff, the lights, the Christmas tree, and all that stuff. So it talks about everything, New Year's, even the food that you eat. So, or some of the food that you eat. So this is a pretty good book. I'm thinking it's Pagan Christmas, Pagan Traditions, or Pagan Holidays. I have the book. And I was going to talk about it, use the book in one of my videos, but I didn't. I may just show you the book. It's a pretty good book. So I just, it's not no thin book, so it's a little bit more of a read, but it's a good book. All right. It's a little bit wider. I don't know the dimensions of it, the size of it, but it's a little bit one of those little wider books. But it's a good book. I got the book. Damn, when did I get that book? I think I got that book, man. I read it back in 2000. When did I get that book? Around 2007? Yeah. And I read it twice. Man, it's a good book. All right. I was going to read it again, but it talks about the so-called holiday traditions and all the stuff that you do. It has a tie-in to a lot of those ancient rituals. Many people may know a lot, but there's so much other stuff that's in there that's viable, good information that you can use. Like I said, you can't even get information just out of one book or one source. You have to get multiple sources and multiple information, cross-reference and cross-check it to come up to your conclusion. And you got to use your schemato, your nado. Even, like I always talk about how there's this so-called debate on the race of the ancient Egyptians. And technically, it's not really a debate. It's just some people trying to whine and steal and hijack people's history like they usually do. I think you got these black folks arguing with this old white clown out in Europe, Metatron. The guys laughing because all you got to do is shut that down. Them arguments shut that down. It's talked about how the way the quote ancient Egyptians dressed and the type of temperature they was walking in. It's impossible for them to be a pale skin to even survive in that climate. So that you just blow that argument away right there. They can talk all that gene stuff and all that stuff, dark skin Caucasian, that's nonsense. When so-called Negroes come in very different features. And that same thing from here, like in Peru, the heat index goes so high. So when you look at the ancient Peruvians, the way they were dressed, they could not have been pale skinned. They always had to be of a darker hue. And I mentioned this in so many of my videos, how we had no problem acknowledging the fact that, okay, the original people in India were Negroes. The original people all through Asia and the Pacific Islands and Australia were Negroes, black people, so-called black people, melanated people. But it seemed to be a problem to talk about the Americas. And the main problem, like I've always said, is that a lot of these Negroes have been bought off. And some of these YouTube channels I mentioned before have been paid off. They go around telling you just to focus on Africa, when you need to be focused on everything. You need to study your history from a multi-aspect and multi-setting. You can't be just one window, and that's a narrow window, because Our people come in various different shades and skin colors, and we don't just look one way. And that's a problem with a lot of these Negro historians who they just want to make so-called black people one type. I mentioned before, if you get some of these books written by these racist ass white historians, man, they will sit there and try to tell you there's 7 different races in Africa, which is nonsense. And then there's the true Negro race and the so-called true Negro features. And some of us have fallen for that because you hear Negroes talking about, oh, well, so-and-so have more Caucasian features. No. All features originate from Negroes. I said this in my videos. All features originate from Negroes. Black people, melanated people. Right? It's just that there's particular features that's more prominent or pronounced, and then you'll give that to so-called Negroes, or they'll just say, oh, this so-and-so Pharaoh was mixed with Negro Nubian blood. That's nonsense, man. It doesn't even make any sense when you start talking that nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So you gotta put your history together. Like I said, these mainstream Negroes, don't listen to them, man. Their hands are they've already been bought and paid for. I had told you before, you have Negroes who don't want to talk about the Omek-Shi and try to say that, well, they're not African. How can we say that they're African? I'm like, really? All right, first of all, you can say they're not African, but you can damn well say they're melanated, not mestizo. There's nothing about them mestizo. I agree with the part they're not African, but if our people were already over here, there'll be more evidence, and I can't say that, really. So we just need to focus on Africa and don't worry about King Charlemagne in Europe being black or Otto. We don't need to take their history. Taking their history, that's our history, especially people here in Americas. What the hell are you talking about? So I want you, brothers and sisters, don't get caught up or blinded or stuck in neutral when it comes to your history. Use many different tools. Okay, you can't really, like I said, that Google stuff, man, they don't purge a lot of stuff. But you may go on there and try to look up a book and then look up the title of the book and probably say the book is out of date or out of publication. But some of them you can still get actually for a cheap price. So look up the book and then just hear something about the book. It may not be online, but you can possibly try to get it, somewhere. Some bookseller may sell it. And it's like a concerted effort, though, for you not to know this information. And my nose gets stuffed up again because of this weather. But I want you to understand is that there's too much information out here for you to grow. Knowledge for you to learn, to obtain this information. The sad part is that people in certain positions of power don't want you to know this. Even people who look like you or look closer to you, they don't want you to know this because it goes against their belief system. So I want you, brothers and sisters, to continue to grasp and seek that knowledge. And if you don't have a library card, get one in your local city. But not only that, subscribe to like a couple journals. If you're able to, do that. Or you can go to the library and look at some journals and look at certain articles and publications, whatever. But just do a multi-facet, multi-discipline type of research. Right? Just don't also check out books on geology. Check out books on medicine. Check out books that deal with our ancient ancestors. I have a book talking about Egyptian medicine. So there's so much out there that you can get and obtain that that's in your reach, your arm's reach. But you're gonna have to want to do that because, like I said so many times, you can't just Google search anything. You're not gonna get anything by just doing a Google search. You're not gonna get the damn thing. You're gonna come up empty and flat with the Google search. Very empty and flat. With just the Google search. So you have to be multifaceted, and then make a commitment with your research. You know, you don't make that commitment, you're empty. Like you have an empty stomach where you don't eat food, and you're on an empty stomach, and you need to get that food to replenish and get that energy back. Your mind is gonna feel empty or lost when you don't have all that information, and you want to connect all the dots. So you have to connect them. So in order to connect all the dots, you got to do a full-scale research. Some instances, you can do the field research because there's so many miles here in America. So you can do a field, first-hand research and view of that, of your history. That's right in your grasp, and it's right there. So I'm just letting you brothers and sisters know, this coming up New Year, try to take some of the advice I'm saying in this video, because there's so much information out there. I don't want to have this information to myself, man. That's why I'm giving you sources, and the stuff is, like I said, it's in your face. But these races, man, and these Negroes want to keep the status quo, and the status quo is to keep the masses ignorant and continue to worship individuals who should not be worshipped and do not deserve to be worshipped. So this is stuff that I want you to take heed to going into the next step of the so-called New Year. Get that information, gather up the information, because the information is there. It's there for you to obtain and to grasp in your hands. I mentioned before the ancient roads that our ancestors built throughout the Americas, man. They did that in Europe too, but they did that. They had ancient roads that connected certain parts of America to one another. Like I mentioned before, gold-plated streets. So this information is out there, but we're too busy allowing some skin folks, not really kin folks, tell us who we are. We're also allowing individuals who have their own agenda, who their main goal is as to interracial access to white folks. That's another group of Negroes. And Negroes who just love a title and to hear themselves talk. So we gotta understand that someone can be very charismatic in what they're saying, but still kick you, throw you a lot of smog in your face, man. Yes, there's plenty of those individuals. But your true history is right under your fingertips. It's there, but you're gonna have to want to get it and seek it. And I challenge brothers and sisters to continue to do that into this next year, to get your information, to get your true history, to seek that true knowledge, because it's there, all right? I may pull out, like I said, find that book, Pagan Christmas, Pagan Tradition, Pagan Holidays, whatever. Show you the book. And do a video today or tomorrow, So, because this is very vital, and we need to get this information. We need to have our elders know this information, man. We need to have our brothers and sisters, our youth, to know this information, because they're really being attacked and really being brainwashed, because so many of our people have been hit with this fake-ass Wakanda nonsense, worshiping them, laying 1,000 miles away, and get Umar Johnson say, claim you're American African, want to make you an immigrant in your own damn land. And you hear Negroes keep saying that they're immigrant. My ancestors were brought in as slaves. Your ancestors already here, Negro. We're telling you this, but you don't want to hear that because you want to continue to be a quote victim and you want to be seen as an immigrant in a land that you're not an immigrant in. You are aboriginal to this land. These bastards have done so much damage and name changing, fact changing, man. They got us all over the place. But I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, you got to continue to do that research, man. Continue to do that research and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I always say, if you have a dictionary, some form of thesaurus, have it by your side, maybe for certain words that you may not know the meaning of. You know, you can just go, you have it right by there, look it up, man. So it's easy. It's easy. You can do it. And I'm more of a historical person. I'm not known that say, that fiction and all that stuff, man. Even though the history that has been given to us is fiction. So, but yeah. So you just get that information. Continue to do the research, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, brothers and sisters. You'll be fine. All right. I have confidence in our brothers and sisters and what they can do. Because what we've achieved and what we've done, we have given to the world. But we continue to allow others to, unfortunately, educate and teach us about our history when they're just lying. Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna end this video right here. It's just a little slight message, man. I'm gonna give, some little info. That's what this video probably title is. A little slight message. O thee, presenteth slight message to these people. O Shire. Oh my goodness. All right, brothers and sisters, man. It's peace and love, man. Continue to do that research. Continue to seek that knowledge. Continue to get that information. Do not be stagnant and stuck on neutral. Peace and love. Love you.